guys. We are welcoming to the show Alicia El Mamouni, and she has a very impressive title.
Yes.
She's an associate biomass research scientist. What does that mean? Well, let's just turn to Alicia and ask what that means.
Yeah, so I'm a research scientist with POET, and primarily I work on cellulosic ethanol. So this will be my 5th year with the company, and I've worked in the cellulosic platform as an operator, a technician, and a researcher.
Now, this is cellulosic as opposed to?
As opposed to starch ethanol.
Okay, now what is
okay.
what? What is what here, so people can understand which is which?
Right. So POET is an ethanol company. We have 27 starch ethanol plants across the Midwest, across the country.
And starch ethanol means?
And starch ethanol is ethanol produced from the actual corn grain.
From corn.
And then we have one cellulosic plant in Iowa. And cellulosic refers to after the grain harvest, we go back through the field and we collect the corn cobs, the husk and stalk, and then that becomes our feedstock for producing ethanol as well.
And it's a lot easier to produce it from corn than it is from the biomass you're talking about, right?
Yeah, the starch process is much better known. Cellulosic ethanol is kind of new. So
it's like moonshining, basically.
yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, it's producing alcohol.
Right.
So.
Okay, and obviously ethanol very important to the state of Iowa.
It is. It's very important. It supports a lot of the local economies in Iowa, and it's important not only for the state, but it's important for the nation as a whole. Ethanol is a really important fuel additive because it displaces a lot of other toxic chemicals that could be used to boost octane in fuel.
So is there a big difference besides one being made of specifically corn and the other the byproduct of corn? Is there a big difference between the two?
The end product is exactly the same.
Exactly
the ethanol
the same.
molecule is the same whether it's derived from the corn grain or from the cellulosic
So the corn
material.
grain is just more potent when creating the ethanol. It's easier to do with the corn.
And it's just easier to break down the starch in the corn.
Okay.
And as cellulosic continues to evolve and more innovations come on, it will catch up to starch ethanol.
Which is more cost effective of the two?
That's not a question I probably have a great answer to. You know, I'm in the lab doing my research, and we have economics people that deal with that end of things.
So this is when you're talking about the cob or the stalk or the leaves. You're talking about complex carbohydrates, right? And you have to find some sort of organism that can break that down. Is that kind of the key? Is finding that bug that can turn it into what you want?
Yeah, definitely. That's part of it. I mean, we do have enzymes that will convert it. The biggest challenge is just learning how to process the material because nobody's ever worked with biomass before. So, but the important thing is just being able to have innovations like starch ethanol and cellulosic ethanol that we can put into our fuel system and provide a healthier alternative. You know, getting ethanol into our fuel systems, especially with the onset of E15 becoming more popular. You know, that's a win-win for everybody for multiple reasons.
Now let's talk a little bit about E15 because the ethanol that people are used to now is what, 10% ethanol in the majority of the stations.
That's
but
right.
now you're starting to see some E15 sign popping up.
Yeah, ethanol is actually in 97% of our fuel supply in the U.S. So you may be benefiting from it without even realizing it. There's some Iowa-based stations like Come and Go who are really starting to promote E15 because they see the benefit of not only providing a fuel that has lower greenhouse gas emissions, but it's also more cost-effective. And so they're able to provide consumers with a choice at the pump. And so actually by the end of the summer, Central Iowa will have nearly doubled the amount of E15 that's available for consumers.
When we talk about cellulosic ethanol, are we only talking about corn, or are there other plants we can use to make it?
There are definitely other feedstocks. Basically, I mean, cellulose is in everything. So you can use basically any material that like wood or switchgrass or corn, but there just isn't the technology right now to know how to convert it efficiently. So corn stover provides the best that we can get right now.
Yeah, let's worry about the corn first and worry about the other things as we go down the road.
That's
now,
right.
E15 as opposed to E10, are there anything that people need to know about if you're using regular ethanol in your vehicle now? Is a switch to E15, is it that much of a jump for your vehicle?
Yeah, so E15 just means that it's 15% of the gasoline as opposed to 10, and E15 is safe to use in any vehicle made in the 21st century. So any vehicle.
So you don't need a particular flex vehicle or anything like that?
No, absolutely not. And it's actually better for your vehicle because it gives you a higher octane rating, so you get more horsepower, but it burns cooler, so you have less wear and tear on your engine. So it's great for your car. It's great for the environment because the more ethanol that you can get into the fuel system, the less toxic chemicals are being used. It displaces cancer-causing agents that are currently in gasoline. So that's a real win. And then it's just more cost efficient. People will see a lower price at the pump. And it's great for us to have a homegrown, renewable source of energy so that we can rely on that rather than relying on foreign oil.
And at the same time, you're reducing the overseas demand for oil, too.
That's right. Yep. Yes.
Two of the knocks you often hear against ethanol, one is that you're taking food away and using it to make fuel. The second is that it's subsidized.
Yeah, one, there are no subsidies for ethanol any longer, and the food and fuel debate is a huge topic that has been proved to not really exist, and we are really focusing on providing a safer, healthier alternative and displacing a lot of that the toxic chemicals in our fuel system. And as more and more innovations come out through ethanol, we're able to apply it in a lot of different applications. So
we're making wind in Iowa, wind energy. We're making energy for our cars, and this could really turn us into the Middle East of the Midwest in a way.
Yeah, it's great to have all of these renewable, homegrown fuel sources available for use.
And as you said, we're going to see more and more of it even coming up to the end of this summer.
Absolutely.
Around the state of Iowa.
That's right. Yep.
Now, where do you call home base?
Sioux Falls. Yep.
Okay.
And Poet is based out of Sioux Falls as well.
And the reason that you're in Des Moines?
So I'm in Des Moines today. I'm participating in the Iowa Biotech Association's Partnering for Growth Forum. And it's basically a forum for biotech industries across the state of Iowa to come together and just share information, learn, network. And it's a really great opportunity as well for area high school and college students who are going to be able to attend. And so they'll be able to come and learn. And it's a great forum for me to be able to share how I became involved in the industry as well.
Well, interesting story.
There you go. And when is that, and where is that taking place today?
So this will be in Ankeny. I believe it starts at around
there's
1
Austin
o'clock.
Dillon's car. By the way, you see the E15 on the hood of those race cars? All those race cars you see running in NASCAR? Yeah, they use ethanol, in case you didn't know.
That's
you
right.
go.
So you know. Okay.
Or growthenergy.org for more details. Well, thank you for everything.
Thank
that
you
you're
so much
doing.
for having me.
Thank you.